Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 is pretty much my favourite version of Minecraft ever released. It was kind of in the sweet spot where there wasn't too many features in the game, but it had a sense of charm to it. Terrain generation was completely different, hunger system didn't exist, sprinting wasn't a thing, and I guess the sounds of the game were somewhat different back then. I feel like modern Minecraft has quite a lot of features, some of them good, some of them are bad, but it doesn't give me the same feeling that Minecraft Beta did, especially Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. I believe the update after this version of Minecraft was the Adventure update, which completely changed the game. That's what added the hunger system and the stamina and sprinting and kind of the adjustment to food. That also changed the terrain generation completely. Back in this version of Minecraft, the terrain was honestly just kind of a mess. Things didn't make much sense, as you can see by these random, almost square-like mountains in front of me. Obviously, I don't know if you just saw that, but the lighting system was completely different as well. It wasn't as smooth as it is currently, but it is a version of smooth lighting. Before this version of smooth lighting was implemented, the game just ran off of an almost blocky lighting system, which I believe I can access through the settings. Yeah, so you can see every single block has a static level of light. Obviously the torches illuminate that block to its brightest level, and then it gradually fades out the further it gets away from that lighting source. This was essentially the alpha version of lighting. Then they implemented the first version of smooth lighting, which is this version, which I quite like. The current version of Minecraft, the lighting that exists in that, the smooth lighting has almost a warm tone to it, depending on, I guess, on what the lighting source is, but it's very warm. Whereas this feels very cold, but it just looks nice. And I guess with this version of Minecraft, the shadows, caves that are unlit are very dark. Like I mentioned, the food system didn't exist. Well, the food system did, but the hunger system didn't exist in this version of Minecraft. You can still go out and kill animals for their meat, like that. None of these items stacked though. And then you could still cook that meat in a furnace, and obviously you can do farming with mushrooms to make soup or stew. You can also obviously do wheat farming as well to make bread. But there is no sprint, so therefore there's no hunger. The reason for food in this version of Minecraft, and you could hear the sound of me getting hurt then, which is one of the old school sound effects. Food is essentially just to heal. That's all it is. You cook it, you right click it, doesn't give you an animation, it just heals you. So you don't have to worry about constantly staring at your hunger to make sure that you're not going to starve to death. You just need to keep an eye on your health and eat some food whenever you can. But because the meat, which is obviously one of the best the best foods in kind of, well, the old version and the new version of Minecraft, because it's not stackable in this version, you have limited amounts, especially if you're going a far distance to explore. Alright, you're getting on my nerves. Especially if you're going quite a distance to explore, you're going to have to carry food with you. If you don't have bread, actually I don't even think bread is stackable in this version. So yeah, you can only take limited amounts of food with you. Otherwise you're not going to have much space. So I was obviously feeling quite nostalgic recently, which is why I'm on this version of Minecraft. I just wanted to kind of come back and have a little bit of a play around. I already built a bit of a hut over here. Found this biome, which is quite nice. It's quite open. And my intention is to start building a little bit of a kind of cabin over here. Obviously, I've played Minecraft since in dev. I think since it was just on a browser. When you couldn't really craft anything, it was basically just creative mode. most of my videos on YouTube are around late alpha and the majority of the beta phase of Minecraft. So where we are right now in this 1.7.3 version is pretty much the sweet spot. This is where I created most of my videos. This is what my original world is pretty much purely based on. The reason that we had to leave that original world is because the update after this completely broke the terrain generation. Obviously, now that's not a huge deal because I've moved that world back into my current world and therefore have access to all of the old stuff. But even back then, and again, you know, I've always said this, I'm not the greatest at building things, but even back then I had a lot of fun building structures within this version of Minecraft. There's obviously limited number of resources, limited number of kind of block variations. For example, there is only one type of plank, and it's this oak plank. Even if you break down these logs here, it will just be converted into this these planks over there. So therefore, when you create stairs and slabs, it's always going to look the same. Trapdoors, they're always going to be the same. But there was a charm around that because people would still build some really cool looking structures. And I mean, I never really built anything really cool, but I think the snow biome base that I built on my original world is probably one of my most favourite ones, and that's why I want to mess around in a snow biome here. Just because I really love that base. And I felt like I didn't spend enough time in it. Obviously, like I've said, the beta 1.8 version shortly came out after I was building that base, and therefore I had to kind of move to a different area because the biome was breaking. And then I left that base to go quite a far distance that I had to use the nether to travel through to get to. One of the other things about this version is, whilst it was quite an old version, redstone still existed. You could still build some really cool redstone contraptions. Obviously not as complex as they can be now, but they were still pretty complex and still pretty cool. Some of the ones that I've built would include the train station base, which is on my main Let's Play. One of my most recent videos actually went back to that base. Oh, bloody hell. That was quick. One of my most recent videos went back to that base to have a look at it, and it works pretty well, still works to this day. That used a kind of manual Pez dispenser, well, automated Pez dispenser, with loads of redstone and tracks, and it worked really well, really cool. You can obviously build things like chicken dispensers that, what am I doing? You can build chicken dispensers that will automatically kind of cook chicken for you, which is a really good way of getting food back then. And there are other things that you could build. I think once I built a weird like lock system that's a video for somewhere on this channel. So whilst it's an old version, and yeah, whilst there's limited resources and limited things you could do, there is still quite a lot that can be done in this version. I think with me, the modern version of Minecraft, and I've said this before, I kind of get choice paralysis. There is quite a lot to do, which is obviously very, very good, and it's extremely enjoyable. It's just a different experience to this version. But there's almost too much to do for me. And I get stuck in deciding what to do. I get stuck in trying to figure out if I want to explore a certain dungeon that's just been added. Like them new vaults, for example. If I want to go to a wooden mansion or an ocean temple, there's quite a lot there to do, which, like I've said, is a very good thing. But if I kind of take my mind back to why I started playing Minecraft and recording it, is because of its simplicity, but also because of its complexity, which is a very weird statement. It's simple in that, you know, it's very basic with the things that you need to do to survive. It's very easy to understand, quick to learn, but it's very complex if you're willing to put in the time to learn how to do certain things and learn some of the bugs and the way that some of the features would work, and just research some of the things that you can do. So with this version, I never really got choice paralysis, because in my mind I was like, well, I'm just going to build a cool base, and that's pretty much it. Build a cool base, explore the area around, or at least I will just caveat, build a cool base in my interpretation. I'm not very good at building, but I used to think that things that I built were pretty cool. But it was pretty much that, and it was very black and white, which is why I think I and many other people loved it so much. And I have seen a resurgence recently in people kind of going back and playing the old versions like this one of Minecraft, and obviously that's why I decided just to come back and start playing it now. Just doing this, I'm not entirely sure how far I want to drop this down. I feel like maybe one more level is probably sufficient. But I won't do that now. What I'm going to do now is just have a quick look around at the area. I haven't done that yet. And just have a look at some of the janky, weird terrain generation that's here. Obviously there's no sprint, as I've mentioned, so it takes a little bit longer to get around. But that's not really a problem. There's no rush when you're exploring things. One thing that I used to do, and I used to always love doing, even though it's very long to do, and it's for some people it might be quite boring, but is building like big quarries. I don't really do that anymore. I don't really see people do it that much anymore. I guess because there are strategies around mining these days, where you can just dig to a certain level, and you know what level you need to be at to get diamonds or iron or X, Y, and Z. So people are extremely efficient with doing that. Whereas back in the day, I used to just literally pick an area. Okay, it's going night time already. I love the colour of the water in old school Minecraft. But yeah, I used to just pick an area and build a gigantic hole all the way down to bedrock. And along the way, I'd obviously get quite a lot of cobblestone. And usually quite a lot of coal and iron and some diamonds. If I wanted to go really kind of hardcore on the diamonds, and that's what my goal was, I wouldn't do it that way. I'd obviously go back to the whole strip mining method of getting diamonds, which I think you go down to level 11, is it? Something like that, or maybe 9, I'm not too sure, I can't remember. And then you just build in directions and you'll get quite a lot of diamonds, which was always exciting. I felt like diamonds had a lot more of an impact when you found them back then, but I guess it's a little bit easier to find them these days. So I guess this area is not lit up enough. Let's see if we can do that again and be safe. I've obviously played a number of mod packs before, like Better Minecraft, Dawncraft. There's a couple of them that I've seen that I've not really put any time into, but there is a couple of them that I've noticed that are essentially almost what if the old version of Minecraft went in a completely different direction and kind of stuck to the values that it had back then. And they're pretty interesting to see. And I've played one of them before. I think one of them is called Integrated Minecraft. And it's not a massive mod pack like you'd see with Better Minecraft or Dawncraft. It very much feels like this old school style of Minecraft with modern features that kind of fit with this version, where it's less about doing dungeons and finding gigantic structures and doing vaults, etc. It's more about just having a look at the area, having kind of cool systems to play with, and just building things and adventuring in a very basic world. And they are pretty interesting to see. I'm hoping that one day a game comes along that I start playing like I did with Minecraft and I fall in love and have that feeling with again. There has been a couple of times where that's happened. Valheim, for example, is a good example where I started to feel the same type of feeling that I did with Minecraft. Ultimately, I kind of stopped playing that just because there were other things that were going on that took me away from that game. Another Hypixel, I think it's called, is scheduled to release at some point soon, I guess. That looks pretty cool with some of the stuff that you can do there. However, that more looks like something like what you expect from Better Minecraft or Dawncraft. It's got quite a lot of systems and it's more of like a big RPG type of game instead of a survival game, which I guess is a good point. This old school Minecraft is a survival game. It's pure survival. modern Minecraft is leaning more towards RPG, which is absolutely fine and it's really enjoyable. But it's almost like they're two different games, even though it is essentially the same game. It's very strange. So I think I'll leave this video here for now. Might seem a bit random, but I'm very nostalgic of the old version of Minecraft right now, so wanted to jump on and start playing around with it a little bit. Obviously I built a little kind of cabin, and I think I'm just going to continue building. I think I'm going to build a bit of a mini mansion like I've done before in the snow biome. I still do think that this is probably the best version of Minecraft for me, in my opinion. Let me know what your best version of Minecraft is. Is it the old school style where it is very simplistic and it's just about survival? Or is it the more RPG-led version of Minecraft, which is the most recent modern day version? Let me know what you think. If you want to see more of this type of stuff where I'm just playing the old version, let me know. I'm going to, regardless, continue playing this save file. I'm going to continue to build, see what type of stuff I can get. Even maybe just play around with some redstone and see what it looked like back then. Jog my memory, see if I can do something like a train station like I've done before. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.